Well, hey, Paul, this is Josh Nelson with Plumber SEO. It's a pleasure meeting you at our booth a couple days ago over at the PHCC convention. Thought we had a nice conversation. It sounded like you were pretty about how you can take VIP plumbing to the next level by more effectively marketing online and really getting better placement on the search engines. So I wanted to go ahead and create a recording with my thoughts on really where I think that there's room for improvement for you. So what I did was I spent about an hour and a half researching the VIP plumbing company online, looking at your current website, looking at your online placement, looking at the most important keywords that I think you should be showing up for and kind of what your placement for those keywords are, and formulating what I feel is a strategy that, if implemented, would help you to dominate the search engines there in the Cleveland area for the plumbing related keywords. So, without further ado, I'm going to kind of dive into my research and my thoughts. If after you see this you think that there's some value here and you're interested in working with me, I am looking to work with the plumber in the Cleveland area. We only work with one plumber in each market, so um, you know you would have exclusive right to this program, to this service in your area, without having to worry about me going and taking the same ideas, the same strategy to the five other guys right in your backyard. Um, so if you're interested, give me a call right away. You can always reach me at 866-610-4647. So I've got your website up, and I think kind of like you alluded to, it's a good website. It hasn't really been updated, doesn't look like for a little while. It's got some good content on it, but I really think that there's definitely room for improvement. This is a PHP-based website. The one thing I really do like quite a bit is this, I guess, this feature where you're able to enter the service that you win on into some kind of back-end system, and then from there have it show up in this cloud. I don't know necessarily how this is helping or hurting your search engine optimization placement, um, but it's an interesting concept. I will say that it's definitely an interesting concept. I'm loading up the thing now. I clicked on that, transfers the data, and then it gives me some information about water type. It's an interesting concept. But any event, if you look at the content of your website, you've got something similar to what we see on most of the plumbing contractor websites. It's relatively not built out, not optimized website. Home, about us, testimonials, some information about your products, a little, I guess, guide to selecting a contractor in your area, and then the contact us page. So, I mean, this is pretty vanilla, other than that section that you have on the bottom there, where it goes into some more depth about um, how you've helped other, how you've serviced your other customers. With that said, you know, when I search on Google for some of the keywords that I really feel would be important to you, I'm not seeing you guys in search results, especially Cleveland Plumber. And that's your major city in your area where the majority of the population searches. I'm going to say there's a lot of search in the other small cities, and there's a lot of value in getting placement for them. But the bulk of the search and the bulk of the, let's just call it low-hanging fruit, is right here in Cleveland Plumber, Cleveland Plumbing, and you're not showing up for that. As a matter of fact, what I did was I went ahead and ran a report, and it's still running, and it's going to show us your exact position for a lot of the keywords that are really kind of essential for your placement. I'm just going to cancel this for a second and get an updated run here. Tool I use that just helps me identify your positioning, and the ones I really want to see are Cleveland. You can see you're in Maple Heights. Right? If we run a search for Maple Heights Plumber, you're not until the 93rd page. That says something about the fact that something's not right. Something's being missed in the SEO strategy that you have in place. Cleveland Plumber, Cleveland Plumbing, Cleveland Plumbing Contractor, bathroom remodeling, drain cleaning. I think there's a lot more keywords, and if you look on my website, you'll see we've developed a list of the 55 most commonly searched plumbing-related keywords. But this is just to give us a snapshot as to where you sit right now. So let's run that search again. Let's just do Maple Heights. So this seems to me like so what this is just showing us now is, unfortunately, there's no real positioning for a lot of these keywords. Cleveland Plumber, Cleveland Plumbing, Cleveland Plumbing Contractor, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a big opportunity for the most important keywords. Now this showed that you weren't showing up for Maple Heights, but when I do look at this, you're spot 1 on the map, which is fantastic. Because that's the city that you're in. I was going to say, if you're not showing for that, that's a major problem. But you do have placement for that. Organically, your site is just not optimized well for that search. It's not called the 98th listing, but you do have your map listing there. And that was actually going to be my next thing to look at, was your map listing. And looks like you've taken some time, you've claimed your map listing, you got a picture of your smiling face here, and that's nice. Looks like a video, good strategy. The only thing I would recommend on this Places page from an aesthetics perspective would be to maybe put your logo up there, put some pictures of your truck. If you have guys out in the field, put some pictures of them doing their thing. That'll just give you some more, more depth to this listing. But definitely a good thing that you have some pictures on here, and you've got that in the right direction. From there, when we look down, we do see a couple of reviews. There's 2 reviews that came directly from GooglePlaces.com. Only one other than that. That's on insider pages. And this guy was happy. This guy was not. And he gave you 1 star for whatever reason. Part of your placement in the Google Places listings, especially as we try and get you placed for Cleveland, needs to be built out. It looks like you've done that. It looks like you've got the right category selected. And you want to have a consistent address, and there's some minor things that I would adjust in the way that this address is listed here on your Google Places listing. But beyond that, it really comes down to citations and the number of web references that your company has across the internet. So one of the tools that we use in order to identify how many citations you have and where there's opportunity for easy improvement is this getlisted.org. And what I was able to do is type in VIP plumbing, put in your zip code, and what it does is it quickly kind of browses the internet and looks for the major online directories, whether or not you've claimed your listing and whether you're existing in these listings altogether. And obviously you've claimed your Google Places listing, which is imperative. I mean, got to do that. I'm glad you did it, but we're still missing the boat on a lot of these: Bing, Yelp, Yahoo, Best of the Web, Hot Frog. I would imagine maybe City Search, Angie's List, Judy's Book. And these directories are important from an exposure perspective. More and more consumers are starting to look at some of these other directories, especially Angie's List and Judy's Book and Yelp.com, but also very important from a citation perspective. Especially being that you're in Maple Heights, which is a little outside of your major city, which is Cleveland. We need to make sure that you're referenced as often as possible on the major online directories with a consistent name, address, and phone number, and get a lot of reviews from IP addresses of customers that are legit, but from those customers in addresses kind of spanning the Cleveland area. Google now, from what we understand, their algorithm looks at your address, right, where you're located, and then it also looks at your citations, how often your company is referenced on the internet, but then it also looks at the reviews and the IP addresses, so the computer location where somebody wrote those reviews, to identify your footprint and what your service area is. So I think that you need to get a proactive strategy in place to consistently get reviews from your happy customers, in order to improve this and really get proactive and claim all of these online directories. That's really what we do is fundamental to our program. It starts with going into this website and taking it to the next level. I know that you like this website. If you're tied to it, we can keep it. But really, what I would recommend is take this format, right? Take your logo, take the look and feel, move it into a Web 2.0 property, a website that's got scalability, that's search engine friendly, and optimize it so that Google, when it splatters your page, says, okay, this is a Cleveland area plumber, and they do all of these different things. They do drain cleaning, they do repiping, they do bathroom remodeling, they do hot water heater installation, hot water heater repair, and on and on. So what we would do is we would create, first of all, a new format for the website. We would make sure that it's optimized for the main cities in and around the Cleveland area, and then we would make sure that we had a page for each one of your different services. Drain cleaning, bathroom remodeling, and down to stupid little silly little things like disposal repair, disposal installation, clogged drain. But we create a page for each one of these that's optimized on the search engines. That way Google has a placeholder for you, so that when we run across this search report next time, we've got a placeholder in search engine, at least, rather than not found. At least it says, position number 75, position number 14, position number 33. But we got to get a placeholder on the search engines in the first place. Right? We need to be showing up when someone types these searches that are paramount for what you do in the area that you operate. From there, that doesn't really get us placement on the search engine. It doesn't give us page one placement. It gives us an indexation in the search engine for those keywords. The next phase of our program really is to get inbound links to VIPplumbing.com. And not just to your home page, but to the sub pages within your website as well. And so really our strategy for getting you placed for all of these different keywords is by providing you with an aggressive link building campaign. And if we type in again Cleveland Plumber, we can systematically look at this and identify, okay, clevelandplumbing.com, pretty strategically select the domain name, is in spot one. Let's try to figure out why he's in spot one. It's just because he's got this domain and it's very, keyword relevant, or what is it that he's doing that's got him in this position? One of the main things we like to look at is the number of inbound links pointing to the web page, right? Because as you know, number of inbound links determine placement as well as other relevancy factors. So this company in the number one position has 37 inbound links. Probably a lot of those are anchor text links. Well, what our team does is it now goes into the top 10 websites for each of your major keywords, looks at all of their links, and reverse engineers and says, okay, how can we get that same link pointed back to VIP Plumbing? Or if we can't get that same link, how can we get a link that's similar in nature, similar in quality or page rank, and get that link back to the site? So that's competitive link acquisition. It's a major part of what we do. The other part of what we do is creating content. I mean, it's one thing to get those links, and that's important. It's a major part of what we do. But the other component is let's create valuable information, push it out on the internet. Information about plumbing, right? How do you select a plumber in the Cleveland area? What's the difference between copper and PVC piping? What's the difference between a tank water heater and a tankless water heater? We create articles about each one of these topics, and then we can take that article and put it on online article directory sites. So these are sites that just store information that they know their consumers are going to want to read. So by finding what we write for you is 5 articles on a monthly basis, we then take those articles and push them out onto these online directory sites. We can write one article, push it out to several thousand places, right? And by placing a link within that article, usually they allow us to do it in the footer, back to your homepage and to the subpages on your website, where we can systematically reverse engineer the links and then create brand new authentic links via content creation, not just articles, but videos, audio, right? Take this type of content, push it out on the internet, and drive a lot of inbound links to your website. And over time, what that does is it helps to increase your ranking in the search engines. And then from a citation development perspective, like we were talking about your Google Places listing, we make sure that you're added to all of the online directories, right? Not just Google Places, but Yahoo Local, Bing Local, City Search, Angie's List, Judy's Book. There's about 150 online directories that are pretty important and that are valuable citations that make you seem a lot more credible in Google's eyes, which significantly improve your probability of showing up on the Google map. As far as getting reviews, like I talked about how important reviews were, well, what we do is we provide you with the automated follow-up mechanism where you can or your administrator can type in the name and email address of your customer after service. And then an email will go to them that says, hey, thanks for your business. If you had a good experience, why don't you write us a review on Google Places? And it links them right back to your Google Places page where they can write a review. If you think about it, for your customers that are happy with what you're doing and getting these solicitations for reviews on an ongoing basis, you're going to get reviews. And if you've got the citations, you've got the reviews, you're going to start to show up on the map, right? And it all comes together in a strategic strategy that includes building out your website, doing the on-page optimization, creating inbound links, optimizing your directory listings, and then systematically obtaining citations and reviews. And that's really what our program entails. And I just wanted to show you, on our website, we've got some case studies of clients. I just want to show you that not only can we talk the talk, but we walk the walk. Just a couple of our clients in major markets that we're working with. Here's an Atlanta plumber that we work with. He's in spot 1 on the map for Atlanta Plumber. Fort Lauderdale plumber we work with, spot 1 on the map. Rancho Cucamonga plumber, spot 1 on the map. Santa Monica plumber, spot 1 on the map. Tampa plumber, this is his this is his Bing listing. He's in position A on the map and spot 1 organically. And if you go back to our website, we've got a number of case studies that go into not just their position for their city plus plumber, but all of the other keyword combinations that are important for them as well. Not just in their main city like Tampa, but in all of the little sub-cities as well. But I just wanted to show you that because it's easy for me to get on this call and say, hey, look, here's what I think we can do, and let's cross our fingers and hope it works. That's not really the way it works with us. We specialize in working with plumbing contractors. We only work with one in each city. We proactively implement a strategy that's proven to work, and our clients get results. That's the program. You already kind of know what the pricing is. I'd love the opportunity to discuss this with you in further detail. If you're interested, right now I am proactively looking for one company to work with in the Cleveland area. So give me a call. You can reach me at 866-610-4647.